Whoa! Guys, welcome back to the podcast, Sooo Aggressive. It's me, Vanessa Johnston. Today we have a lovely lady in the building, Krista Allen. You may know her from Days of Our Lives, Baywatch. She's a funny comedian. So excited to have you.
So excited to be here.
What's up, Queen? How are you?
Not much. I'm good.
And you look like a rock star today. Got the purple hair. How do you
You're
do
just
that?
saying that because I have my glasses on before.
You had purple glasses, purple hair. You have a purple. I mean, you look so fucking cool.
Kind of like Barney. I am the cool version.
Yeah,
of
you're
Barney.
like fuckable Barney.
Oh
I mean,
my god.
There are people that are probably like fuck regular Barney, but like that is the thing. Have you heard about this? Furbies? Or is it called furries?
Of course.
Sam would know. Sam, is it called furries?
Yeah. There's
Sam's on the podcast situation. He's one of our producers. Furries. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
People like fuck people in costumes.
Yes.
That look like animals.
Yes.
Someone's for sure fuck Barney.
Judge. Do not judge. Some people are very unassuming, and you'd never think they'd want to fuck a stuffed animal. And you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, maybe there's just some childhood issues that somebody needs to get through. So I wouldn't, be too harsh to judge those people.
We don't judge as so aggressive, but we judge all the time. So you made it here. Fuck ways. That's the moral of the story.
Fuck ways.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm a Google Maps girl myself.
Yeah, but I always like the shortcut. That's like a thing for my life too. I always like the shortcut.
But it gets so stressful, right? Because when it's just like make a left, make a right, like when you could have just taken one street the whole way straight.
I think that's what messed me up. I think that it was having me go all these different ways. That's why it's called ways, right? And then and then I just kept going different places, and it took me 45 minutes, which was ridiculous.
It was like a Game of Thrones episode. Are you watching Game of Thrones right now?
Yeah.
What did you think about last night? Do you like the episode?
I'm a little disappointed.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I think I'm just disappointed. What do you think?
Because of Daenerys?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, okay, we know that the writers of Game of Thrones always put the audience in uncomfortable situations. And so that either meant, I guess, everyone dying from like the Night King or something, or an even bigger fuck you to the audience is like, hey, let's take Daenerys, the character that everyone loves and is like the Jesus. It feels like she's like Jesus. Let's make her the villain now. It's such a fuck you to the viewers.
I'm gonna be the father. Yeah,
she's like, now we hate Daenerys. I mean, like the last episode, we basically were kind of cheering on Cersei. We felt bad for Cersei, and we were kind of like, "Fuck you, Daenerys." I mean, that's kind of amazing that that the writers of Game of Thrones was able to do that to us.
Look, I'll give him that. I'm just, as a watcher, as a viewer, I'm just a little frustrated. I'm a little invested.
You're like, I wish you would have taken a different ways.
Yeah, I feel Dun, ching. That was really good. That was really
Thanks, Krista. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
What are these red flags things?
Oh, we're gonna do that in a little bit.
Okay.
I like how you're drawn to it though.
Yeah. Well, anything that says red flags, I'm drawn to.
Yeah. You're just like,
hey, you look like a terrible idea. Come on over here. Yeah.
Let me take a card. Let me take a stack of red flags back to my parents so they can meet them. Yeah. No, we're gonna get into that. Pretend like they're not there. You brought a bottle of rosé, a little baby bottle of rosé.
When I showed up and I was like, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna go get almonds, and then they had it at the thing, and I was like, we can split rosé.
That's such an LA thing to say. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna get some almonds.
Well, what else are you gonna get at a liquor store?
I'm just starving.
Yeah, like let's look at it for what it is. It's a liquor store. So you think, well, I could get chips. That's not gonna satiate my appetite.
Yeah, you need to be satiated.
I'm gonna eat that bag of almonds.
Did you eat the whole bag?
All of it. I just like that
right before you came on the podcast. You're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I used show me those red flags. I'll be ready to go.
So you have such an interesting story. What's your because we don't know each other very well. We see each other around you started doing stand-up.
And I just want everybody out there to know that I am absolutely obsessed. I'm obsessed. I think you're the cutest thing. I think you're so funny. You're so smart. Your jokes are funny. You're great up there as a new comic that just got into the scene a year ago and been doing so. I love watching you.
You've been doing it for a year.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a year, and I love watching you.
Oh, thank you.
I will. It's really it's like inspiring to see somebody up there like doing their thing, and you're really comfortable and you're really funny, and You're so beautiful. And it's like, you're just like, you kind of have it all. Do you want to have sex now?
I'm down. Okay. Honestly, I was just talking to my coworkers today at my office. I was like, I haven't had sex with a woman. Are you bisexual?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. Not to say that I have
I get
never
all excited.
been with a woman.
I'm like, I was just talking about how I need a fucking chick, dude.
Yeah, I'm not saying I've never done it. It's just, my choice
what sign are
is
you?
dick. I'm an Aries.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Y'all fuck for a long time.
I mean, if you're with the right person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes you're with somebody that doesn't want to do that.
Every Aries I've ever had sex with has sex at least an hour.
Well, that's good. Then I need to find an Aries.
Yeah, y'all know how to fuck.
No, there's a passion. There's a
all of our male crew is like, what?
There's a passion, right? What sign are you?
I'm a Scorpio.
So there you go. Well, I'm Scorpio rising.
Oh shit.
So technically I am a Scorpio. What's your rising?
Leo.
So we're the same person.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to fuck? No.
Yeah.
So you've been doing stand up a year. I didn't know that. So you just started.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a very successful career as an actress, right? What was that like? Because I don't know a lot of actors.
What do you mean? What was it like in what way?
Like what made you want to be an actor, and how did you like being an actor?
Those were all like legit 1 hour conversations.
Yeah, it's kind of a long thing.
But I will say this.
Give me the headlines.
I will say this. I just got really lucky. I got really lucky in the most unlucky way. And what I mean by that is I came out to Los Angeles. I had no idea what I was doing. My family life wasn't like the greatest family life. I left home when I was 13.
Wow.
So because it was not the greatest thing, there was a lot of sexual abuse. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of just emotion, like whatever it was. And the family was really broken. And so I decided I was an adult by the time I was 13. I literally thought I was. I wasn't. I was still a little girl, but I was like, I'd rather be out there than here.
Right.
And so
where did you grow up?
Texas.
Okay.
That makes all the sense in the world now, right?
I mean, no. There's a lot of
sexual abuse,
emotional, all of the abuses,
yes.
Texas, right? Am I right, Texas?
That's like the motto that you don't see all the sexual abuses. That's what it says on some of the license plates there. That's what it says.
It's on the flag. No.
Yeah. So I came out here, and I guess the reason I wanted to preface that is I ended up I tried to go to school for a little bit. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was trying to model, but it was more bikini modeling. I didn't, and I'm not a model. And I was just like, I didn't know what I want to do. So I ended up coming out here after a breakup, and then something happened, and I just ended up getting a job, and that went on to other jobs. And within a year of being here, I was on Days of Our Lives, and it was amazing. There's so many great stories that you go, oh my God. I remember driving from Texas to LA and feeling like I had no attachments to anything. There was
How old were you? You were 13?
No, not when I came to LA. I was 22 when I came to LA or something.
So what did you do from 13 to 22 when you were just on your own? This is the chapter I'm interested in.
So that part has nothing.
Sad chapter.
That part probably made everything to do with why I what I was going to say, we're so ADD right now, but what I was going to say is when I drove out to LA, I did not come out to Los Angeles to be an actress.
Right.
I had so much self-esteem, that I was like, I just want to be a playmate. That's all I want to do, because that's all I saw. Everybody looked at Playboy, and I was like, maybe that's the way to, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything was that where you're socialized in a way where women are a certain way, and men are that's what you're supposed to be. And so when I came out here, I didn't come out here to do that, but I was like, well, that would be cool if I could meet Hef.
Did you? Did you ever meet him?
Of course. I ended up meeting him when I was shooting a film with George Clooney and Sam Rockwell, and, and I was in the grotto and I was doing a scene, and I got to meet him, and I went to parties, and my son and I would go there all the time, and it was really fun. My son, when he was little, Easter parties, they had big
the Playboy
Easter egg
Mansion?
hunts. They were great with kids.
Bro, you could bring...
Not like it
What?
wasn't. No, but like for Easter and like things like that. And
You're like a
whatever
little
it was.
kid. You're like, find the eggs, and they're
They
just like
would-
grabbing titties.
Yeah.
I think this one has it inside.
Yes,
Nice.
that's how they learn. You know, that's Playboy is very educational in that way. You just grab the titties, tell me if it's a titty or an egg. That was one of the contests. So,
Playboy Mansion.
yeah,
Chronicles.
yeah, that's what happened. So, but when
Halloween. Search around. Oh, that's a dick. Fuck boo.
Damn
You're like,
it.
damn it.
it's not a pickle.
Oh my god.
No.
So you're bringing your 5-year-old kid or whatever into the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, I did.
He's living his dream.
No, he didn't know. 'Cause there were
didn't-
like a million kids. Like, and some of those kids to this day, because a lot of celebrities would bring their kids for the Easter egg hunt, you know, for the
Were there naked
squeezing-
people there or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was a kids' party.
Okay, got it. Wow, why are you
I
acting like we
mean-
know this? She looked at me like, of course.
Because I would
It's
hope that
just
you would
kids.
not think that I would bring my 5-year-old to a naked party.
Well, I don't know. Every time I went on the Playboy Mansion, there was always tits involved. So that's why I was like, I didn't know.
There
Hey,
were
dude,
orgies,
sit
but
down.
everyone
You're too excited.
There
He's like
were-
over here.
No, there were orgies, but everyone was clothed. I'm not an animal. Okay.
So they just have kids.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a bunch of kids. It was for the kids.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So a lot of pedophiles would be there. No,
Yeah. No tits, but a ton of patties.
It was like, you know, you had to keep your eye on them, you know. But there was
I like how you were like, no, just kidding. We know.
anyway. So no, but it was fine. And you know, I just wouldn't let my kids swim in the grotto. Like
Right, the
you know,
big
his
pool.
immune system was down. Like I didn't want him to.
There's a lot of
have
cum in
something.
that. You're talking about the hot tub, right?
Yeah, like I wouldn't let him swim in the
so
pool.
many people have had sex. I've been to the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
It smells like of Dick's past. Like you can, right? It's the hot tub. Have you been in it?
No,
I've just walked in the cave.
I swam in a pool for a scene.
Yeah.
And then I had to take antibiotics.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. No, you'll get pink eye just
Yeah.
like looking at it.
Mhm.
You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't be in that. Okay, so
You do. Pink eye, all kinds of things turn pink. It's not in red. Inflamed
inflamed.
things happen.
So okay, so you're doing your thing. You're at the Playboy Mansion. Your kid's living his dream that he doesn't know. He's living his best life.
Yeah.
No one. He doesn't know it, but everyone
He doesn't
else does.
know until he goes to school and he tells people I went to the Playboy Mansion. They're like, wait, what? And then he's a superstar. And he's like, oh, that was actually kind of cool. You know, no, he's friends with some of those kids to this day. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I mean,
Just-
they're in rehab, but still, it's you know, he keeps in touch. So when I got here, it was just like everything just started happening. Like I just started working, and then I got Days of Our Lives, and then I got pregnant with my son. This was all in like a year of being here.
Wow.
And I got married and I had a son and I had all this stuff. And like, it was just like from a girl that literally, I didn't know what I was doing. But I guess the point I was trying to make is to this day, like now, you know, like as we are, like we take a bunch of our shit that we had when we were a kid and we bring it into our adult life.
Yep,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
our adult life is kind of fucked up, right?
Uh-huh.
And I read an article about that the other day that like you bring your stuff, your childhood stuff into your adult life. And if you don't, you know, if you don't deal with it, then, you know, bad things are going to happen.
For sure.
I learned a very valuable lesson.
Ooh,
I'm
let's
not-
talk about that lesson.
I'm not going to read anymore. So, because I read it somewhere. I don't know. The lesson is really that you got to deal with that shit.
Right.
And you got to deal with all that stuff because it does affect you and it does affect people's lives.
So what was the thing that you had to?
Oh, I told you already. I said there was like a ton of sexual abuse, emotional
Right.
abuse, and all that stuff. So there was like all of that stuff. But when you're a kid and your feelings are invalidated to the extent that it's like you don't know. You just know that you're with your first family.
Mm-hmm.
You're with somebody and they're supposed to love you. And then that becomes your definition of love.
Right.
I'm going to chase you for your love. I am going to have to stay quiet. You are always going to invalidate my feelings. And so every single relationship I think that I've ever had, it's progressively gotten worse and worse over the years, but it has continuously been that cycle of like that.
Or do you put yourself in a situation where you're the abused, or do you kind of mimic your your parents or whatever, whoever was abusing you?
Well, here's the thing. I think it can go both ways.
But what do you do?
Well, I'm going to say, I think it's not that I would do what I am so, just please love me. Please love me. Please don't leave me. Please don't abandon me. Please. What can I do? You're going to do something. If you're going to pull away, holy shit. Are you mad at me? Are you going to leave? Oh God. Oh God. You know, and I overthink everything.
Right.
So I'm with people that are more avoidant, that can't deal with that because of their own family situation.
Right. That's me.
Right. So dating is basically finding somebody that has like, you know, equal but opposite family issues than you. And then you hang out with each other and track the things that you don't like about each other, and then you break up. Like that's, you know.
But wait, I feel like we're going to work through trauma on this podcast. So
I'm always working through trauma.
So
I just worked through trauma the whole way here.
Through ways.
Yeah.
You had to trust, you let ways abuse you all the way here, making you go all the way, but you didn't want to go.
And I kept saying, I'm sorry. What am I doing wrong? No, I'm kidding.
So what are you insecure about? Like what's one of your
insecures? Everything.
Okay, but like give us a couple.
Okay, wait, let me think. Like insecurities. Well, here's one of my biggest things. One of my biggest things is I have a social anxiety.
Like you're worried people don't like you
all the time.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have that. I think everyone has that, honestly, but none of us know that everyone else has it. Everyone secretly is worried that no one likes them.
Right. And you know what's really fucked up about that? Like we can have like 10 amazing things going on in our life. We're going to focus on the one thing that's really fucked up in the moment. And then we knock off those other 9.
But that's human beings. And you know what made me realize
stupid.
this?
We're stupid.
Well, maybe did you see the 5'2" Lady Gaga documentary on Netflix?
Yeah.
I watched it. Incredible. And what I took away from that, besides the fact that Lady Gaga is queen,
she is that absolute queen.
She was at the top of her career. It was like 2008, 2010. She was like the queen of pop, right? And she was so sad and miserable and unhappy. And I was like, oh my God, that's just human beings, bro. Like no matter what you do, like we're just designed to not be happy. I think it's like something inside of us. I was having this conversation yesterday with my friend Mona that she's like, from evolution, human beings for the majority of our existence have been in a state where we're panicking, trying to figure out where we're going to eat next. So we're always in a fight or flight mode. So now that we're, as human beings, not in that mode all the time, there's this sort of void feeling of emptiness because we're not trying to survive every day in terms of like what we typically would do in the wild. So I think that no matter what we do, we're just unhappy because we're not like fighting for survival.
I think there's I think there's a lot of value to what you just said, and then take it even further. Take it to how everybody is socialized differently. I came from white trash Texas. I was socialized much differently than somebody that was socialized in the Hamptons. Absolutely. Like the way that we think, the way that we dress, the way that we think about ourselves, the way we think about others, the things we judge. My family, super racist. I don't really speak to my family, not because I'm like, I hate you, but just I left.
You like don't have anything.
Yeah. Like it's just, but there's also a huge racist thing. And they, just like if you think of certain people out there, you're like, how could you even think these things? Because they were socialized to think that. They know no other way.
Right.
And they haven't gone in and gone, wait a second, when was the first time I had that thought that blah, 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 that these people are not okay? Oh, it was from my dad, or and then the dad would be like, oh, that was from my grandfather, and oh, this was from that. But when you're raised like when you're socialized in an amazing, I would say an amazing liberal family that is inclusive of everyone and isn't judgmental on socioeconomic things and all that stuff. Well, you go out into life and you are a fighter for those people. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, I think there's a lot about socializing, and I think that is a huge, I don't think people really talk about that. I don't think people talk about that enough.
But if you think about it, because by the way, I have a similar background where my, a lot of because I'm from the Midwest and I have a lot of family members who are probably could be considered more on the racist side, a little bit small-minded, and Yes, I was raised that way. I never really agreed with it, even when I was younger. Like when I was growing up, there was like there was 400 people in my graduating high school, and like 4 of them were black, and I was best friends with 2 of them. You know, so I've always been kind of more open. But you've spent to say, oh, I was socialized this way, this way, this way. You spent 13 years of your life with your family. You've had significant more amount of life away from them.
But then I was also socialized on the streets, and I learned what that was too. And I learned what that kind of stuff was. And I also learned what it meant to be a girl and whatever. I'm just saying, like, everybody has their own story. And it's funny because one of the things that I've noticed lately with people that are like, oh my God, that person overreacted so much. Like, oh gosh, so drama. I don't think anybody ever overreacts. I think it's like a buildup of shit that you're not dealing with, and then you're triggered, and then you know,
put that negativity on that one thing,
or or that reaction, or that hurt, or just not knowing how to cope because your coping skills are, you know, not there because you're acting as from the place you were when you were stunted in that growth.
So to me, this sounds like your insecurity is more from about where you're from than
no. And you know, I see how you could see that, but no, my insecurity is not about where I'm from. I'm really proud of where I'm really not proud of where I'm from. I'm proud of where I am.
Right.
I don't look at that other part because I would introduce anybody to my family. Like, I'm not like, oh God, this is my family, because they're all really trying.
You don't talk to them anymore.
I don't have relationships with them. You know, some of them follow me on Facebook. You know what I mean? But I think at a very early age, I was taught to believe that something, I guess my mom would always say that everybody else was awful in my family. So I was scared of everyone. She hated my dad, and like all of these things, and I didn't know him that well, and there was like a lot of shit going on. So I think that I just became scared, and I became very awkward, and in any I was, you know, that like Sesame Street, one of these things is not like the other. Like,
no, but I like that you're singing it in your Barney outfit.
Yeah, but it's like it's Big Bird. You know, he's like big. He's a big bird, and he doesn't really fit in. And so we always felt like he didn't really fit in. You know what I mean? And Big Bird would walk around, and he's like, one of these things isn't like the other. You know, I'm not like a little Muppet. I'm like this huge thing. And he would.
So you feel out of place. What else are you insecure about?
Gosh, I think that's my biggest insecurity is not feeling like I am able to connect as well with when I'm in a group of people. I mean, up until like maybe 10 years ago, I would go to restaurants with like groups of people. Now, if I didn't know those people and I was like a guest and I didn't know anybody, I maybe knew the girl I was with, I wouldn't even get up to pee because I didn't want anybody to look at me because I was so uncomfortable.
Wow.
I wouldn't do it. I would get so uncomfortable, and and even just getting up and walking, all I could think was, oh my God, everybody's watching me. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? But in my head, that's where I was. It's this weird thing. And that tracks back, I think, to childhood. I think it tracks back to me walking in and not feeling accepted, and me feeling like I didn't feel these, you know, I didn't feel like I was a part of the bigger picture. And so ironically, most of my relationships that I've chosen, I have felt the same way. And there's always been like a thing. So, you know,
are you afraid of being the center or afraid of attention?
No, no, not at all.
Then how is that different from being looked at when you get up?
Now it's okay, but I've learned a new coping mechanism.
But back then, what was that? Was that the same thing?
Oh,
attention?
Yeah. Back then it was like, if I wouldn't even know what to order. If I really didn't want onions on my pizza, I wasn't going to even say, can you not do the onions? I would be like, pizza's fine. That's great. Like I wouldn't say anything else, you know? And then I just pick them off, like but then
so you felt guilty ever like standing up for what you feel like you needed or setting
uncomfortable.
boundaries.
Yeah. I didn't know how. I just was never taught.
Well, probably because you had family that never respected boundaries.
I don't think they didn't know what boundaries were. Boundaries at that time were not like something that people talked about. It was like, children should be seen and not heard. And, like it was just whatever it was. You just went along with it. But you're a kid. And that's how, and I keep saying socialized because I love that word. Because like when you think about like animals and the way you socialize animals, it's the same thing. We're human. We're all, a form of that, like you are brought up in a pack. How are you socialized? Or how, if you go to a pound, a dog goes to a pound, might have some issues, might bite your head off,
Well, yeah, totally. It's like a fucked up animal. I think women, especially with women just started getting to a place where we're setting boundaries because for the longest time we've been in a place where we never really had boundaries. It's like the only boundary we really had was our sexuality. Oh, okay, I'm a virgin. I'm not going to have sex with you. That's my boundary. But even that would be taken away from us. So it's like beyond that, like we're just getting to a place where we're like, hey, this is the amount of money I want. This is the respect I deserve. Like setting up boundaries and expectations for how we should be treated is kind of a new thing for women.
Well, look what's happened with all of the stuff that's happened with Me Too and with everything coming out. Women,
that's a boundaries thing. We're like, hey, these are boundaries.
Well, yeah, it's a fundamental right thing of saying, wait, I'm a human being. We grew up in a certain way where it was male dominated and still is. It's not like it's changed, but we're making progress in the way. Look, here's what I believe. The generations under us, the generations like, my son is 21 and his generation, that would be Gen Z, right? Those girls are never going to have the issues that we do.
They won't even understand.
Thank God. And you know what that makes? It makes a better America at that point because they're the ones that are going to be in charge and they're the ones that it's a different thing. And men have respect for women in that way because they've seen all this stuff. I mean, Trump has been an amazing thing for this. Like these kids are like, what the actual fuck is going on? They see it. And I believe that all of this shit is happening in the world and all of that because do you think like a spiritual, like kind of big, do you think? Yeah. Cause like, I always think there's like a collective consciousness that created 100%. Trump.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No, because of all the fear.
Right.
But also we needed a change and he's going to be a huge catalyst for that. I don't like the man and I don't like the way he does much at all. But I do think that he is a catalyst for people to wake the fuck up. You know?
It's kind of like a pimple.
Yeah, like a boil maybe on the ass of humanity.
Well, it's like a pimple in terms.
We're not talking about Trump.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, the ugliness of humanity is like a pimple in that when it's infected, you can't really see it, right? It's just kind of like underneath like when it's infected, and then you don't start healing. When you start the healing process, it gets really big and gross. Yeah. Before it heals. Yeah. So it's almost like, because I was talking to my friend about this, my friend Rachel Wilson, and she's a super, super, super liberal. Like her dad's the DA of Las Vegas, and she's like, her mom's like a judge, super into politics. And I'm politically neutral. I kind of try to see everyone's perspectives and, whatever. Anyway, I'm just an observer of things. And so she was saying, oh my God, she was crying. She was sobbing. This was like 6 months ago. She was sobbing. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening to America right now. It's just like, we're so much worse. We're getting worse as a country, and just the world is just getting worse. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not getting worse. She's like, yes, it is. I was like, you think it's worse than 50 years ago? She's like, it's so much worse. I was like, 50 years ago when like black people couldn't drink at the same water fountain and women like couldn't really get a job. Like, you think it's worse? She's like, yeah, it is worse. I was like, worse than 100 years ago when like black people were still slaves. It's like, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's getting better, but we feel like we're like, oh my God, this is so fucked up. Well, how can women be in a place where they're being Harvey Weinstein? And it's because we as a humanity is becoming a lot more conscious of what's right and what's wrong.
We're getting educated. We're getting educated on things, you know, and it's funny because, you know, a lot of comics will be like, I just did a set. That joke kills and now nobody's fucking laughing because everybody's so sensitive. Yeah. Oh my God. And it's like, actually, you know what if we are just getting more educated and your jokes just aren't fucking funny anymore? How about that? You know what I mean? Snap, how about that? Do you know? But I'm serious, because sometimes you're like, no, because the socialization, we are social, it's all different, and it doesn't affect Rachel. She's white, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't affect her.
100%.
Now she's like, that's called, you know, we all have white. For your white, you have white privilege. You know, like the only people that don't admit that they have white privilege are the ones that have achieved very little despite it. You know what I mean? So that's like my family. You know, they're like, I ain't got no white privilege. I live in a trailer park. I'm like, okay, there you go.
Well, okay, have you
ever feared for your life when you got pulled over by the cops? Have you? So yeah, there's a lot, you know. I think we're definitely getting into a different place, and this is just the conversation on socialization and how our world, it's shitty right now. There's like some shitty things, but there's also some pretty amazing awarenesses that are coming out of it.
Like, look what happened with Brunei. Did you see that with Brunei? The Sultan in Brunei was like, we're going to make being gay illegal and we're going to stone them to death. And a bunch of celebrities in LA were like, fuck you, Sultan in Brunei. And there's some hotels, some very famous hotels, like the Beverly Hills Hotel is owned by
there's a couple,
the Sultan of Brunei. And all the celebrities were like, fuck you, we're boycotting these hotels. So we stopped doing Oscar parties there. We were boycotting that. And now the Sultan just overturned the rules so that it's not illegal anymore, which is good. I mean, there's still some cultural fucked up things.
Totally.
But it's still progress is getting to a place where, okay, that wouldn't have 50 years ago, we couldn't have done that. It's
it was
cool.
it was just really messing up the girls that he could get from America to come over to pay them. So
you think is that what it was?
No, I'm just being but you know,
facts.
No, it's not a fact, but you know, obviously he brings a lot of girls over from Los Angeles. So, you know,
the hoes.
They're not hoes. They're just business women looking for, you know, I don't know. You know
models,
what I mean? I don't know.
Models. It's fucking up the biz.
Well, you know, like everybody has their thing. I wouldn't call anybody a hoe. You know what? Like, I think we hoe in our life in general.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like I've done stuff that I'm not proud of doing. Whether it's doing a role that I was like, okay, I need money right now, or, you know, whatever it would be, you know. But I think all of us hoe ourselves out.
We just do with our clothes on.
Or not.
Or not.
Know? Yeah, no, everybody does their stuff. I don't know. You know, but it's like, I think it's like everybody, there's so many people that don't want to evolve to a different place. There's so many people that they just don't see it, and they don't know that they need to do it themselves, so they project it out onto the world, right? But then there's people like myself that can look and go, oh shit, I've been a victim my whole life, and I've been acting like a victim my whole life. And I'd still stay going, God, you're treating me so bad. If I can just change you, then in my head, like I was like, if you could just like love me back, like, you know, whatever it is. And it's funny once you realize you don't have to be a victim anymore, because you're not a victim. Yes. Have you been victimized by things? Sure. Get angry about it and then move on and be of service to other people who could use your help and your wisdom and the shit that you have to say and your story of evolving and being better in facing so much adversity. And like you said, there's a lot of sex walkers that listen to your podcast. They know exactly what that is. They're not doing what they do. You know, they got into it because it's love. You know, how do you feel love? How do you feel it? How do you feel validation? I'm a fucking actor. I do stand-up comedy. I whore myself out every day. You know what I mean? So, you know, like that's what I do to get validation, and it's instant and it's great. And sometimes I feel like shit when I get off stage and nobody laughed at a new joke that I made up, and I'll just beat the shit out of myself. Why? because I didn't get the instant gratification. They didn't come. You know what I mean?
How are you liking stand-up? Because you're
love
new to the
it.
game, only a year. That's a baby comic.
I'm a baby comic. I love it, and it's really great. I write all the time.
Okay.
I'm constantly writing new shit, and I'm constantly writing. God, I love it.
What inspired you to start?
My social anxiety. No shit. Like I was on a show for the CW, got canceled. It was called Significant Mother. It was awesome. It was this great show. I was a lead in it. It was so much fun. And then it got canceled a couple years ago. And then things were really quiet for me. And I was like, what is going on? I'm not working. And I got really scared because my creativity light was like dimming. And I was like, what am I doing? But I also knew that I wrote, and I have a lot of friends that are stand-up comics, and they'd get off stage and I'd be like, hey, I have an idea for you. What about this? And they go, that's what I've been looking like. Thank you. And I go, oh my God, that's great. And then I started like punching up people's scripts, and I started doing stuff like that. And that was really fun, comedy scripts and stuff like that. And then one day I called my friend Jody Miller and I said, Jody, can I just do your show? And I didn't know what that meant.
Wow. At the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, but she was like, yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes. Of course. And I got up and I did it, and I felt really ridiculous. But the laughs that I got, that instant gratification, that immediate thing of the jokes that did work were awesome. And I was like, wow. And then I didn't do it again for like 8 months. And then I got up again. And then I was like, I really want to try. So I just started writing after that one. I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I talk about? What are some things that are important to me? So I went to the first easiest part. I was like, relationships. That's the easiest thing for me to talk about, for most people.
Because it's your truth, I'm assuming. You're pulling from your life.
Yeah, but then I started going into this like whole codependent thing. And like I was in a relationship that I told you, like the same kind, but the worst one yet, where it's just complete invalidation of feelings and total gaslighting. And, but I was doing the thing where I was like, I'm not going to get mad. Like, I'm just going to see the best in this person because, he's really trying, just like I did with my parents or whatever it was. And I'd be like, you know what? They did the best they could. You know what? It got to a place where I was like, wait, I'm going to get angry. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my life. Like, no. And it just like that kind of a thing where I gave myself permission to actually get angry. I feel like so many people these days are like, just think of the positive. Everything's positive. No, think a better thought. Everything's great. And I lived that life for so long. I was a huge law of attraction, Abraham Hicks. I was like, just think a better thought. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just think a better thought. And you know what that did? It made me insane because I was invalidating my own truth and my own feelings and my own stuff. So I am a huge advocate. Yeah. Like definitely think a better thought, but like, deal with your shit. What do you feel? And what does it take away from anything that you are to just say, I'm really angry and this wasn't right. I'm angry at myself, or I'm angry at this person, or I'm whatever it was, or that just wasn't right. And it hurt. When somebody gives you permission to say that, things kind of automatically heal and go away. But everybody's so defensive with each other a lot, I just don't have those people in my life anymore,
But that's very brave of you.
It's
especially since you've had this conditioning and you've been living by it.
Yeah.
So for you to, that's huge for you to set that boundary for yourself.
Yeah. But I want to do it. Like, I know that I'm at a place right now where I'm a little bit more aggressive than I'd like to be about it, because if a guy says something to me that is chauvinistic or putting me down or negging me in a way or whatever they're doing, I come back with a fury. Like, and that's the part where I go, lighten up and let's look at it. Why does it hurt? It hurts because it makes you uncomfortable. And before, you used to just avoid it or ignore it and make a joke about it, but it's not funny. And so now I'm at a place where I'm just learning. I'm like straddling the like lines right now. You know what I mean?
Because you're kind of going one. It's like anything. You kind of, because you realize this whole thing, so you go one way kind of extreme, and then it balances out to a regular place. No, I know what you mean, but also I think, I mean, like for example, today I was at a restaurant. I was at lunch, and I was standing at the bar ordering food, and at the moment I bend over. I didn't bend over. I was like at the bar. I was just standing up at the bar, and then this dude was sitting at the bar stool next to me. And he leaned back, but he didn't know that there was a mirror at the bar, so I could see this dude. He leaned back in his chair to stare at my ass, like super, like long and weirdly. And I was in La Scala, Beverly Hills, which is like a bougie Italian restaurant.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna fight this motherfucker.
What did you do?
I didn't, because I was fighting with the bartenders about my food order. But like, I've got in fights, dude. I was at the gym like a couple years ago. I was at this gym in Century City. It was Equinox, which is kind of like it's where a lot of like old rich dudes go. Century City Equinox, because it was like this gym thing. Anyway,
I should check that out.
My old office used to pay for it, so I would go there. And you said you should check it out. No, these dudes don't respect women, bro. It's like they own women. They view women. They look at women like they're car shopping. Like, it's not like you're a human.
That makes sense.
It makes me so mad.
It's that generation.
Ugh.
It's my generation.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't. It makes me livid, dude. I would work out this gym, and I would dress like Eminem. I would dress like so fucking just ugly and just fucking my knees are sweaty. Spaghetti. Like, just so hideous.
You can't look ugly.
I mean, dude, I did my best. I was like covered in dog hair. I'm like, I look so gross. And dudes, one time this dude, I got freaked out on this guy. We were at the machine. He came. He's like, "Hey babe, let me use the machine. I'm doing a photo shoot." And then I freaked. I was like, and he had this guy taking photos of him, and I was like, "Yeah, your little boyfriend. Fuck you." I was like, I went hard, dude. I went hard on this motherfucker. I was like, "You're in a magazine, you fucking bald fuck." I went hard. He started tearing up. He's like, "You're really mean."
He did. He started tearing up.
Oh, bro, when I get mad, this guy started tearing up. He's like, "You're really mean." And he was like this roided out old dude. Not old. He was like 60 or something. He wasn't like, I wouldn't pick on some like 90-year-old dude trying to like live his best year before dying, you know.
Unless he was an asshole,
like,
then you can totally do it.
No, like this guy was like 55. I was like, "Oh, you want to go today, dude? Let's fucking go." I was like, "You want to do photos? Why don't you take your little boyfriend and go fuck in the bathroom?" And it's like, by the way, I'm not homophobic. I'm very pro-gay. I'm bisexual. But anyway, this dude did look like he fucked this dude. And like, he was like, "You're really mean." Anyway, so I understand. I understand, because it's not okay, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not like, don't look at me like I'm a cow and you're prepping and you're like buying fucking cows right now, dude. Like, don't look at me like I'm cattle. It makes me livid.
No,
I will.
It's
I was thinking about this today because I almost went hard on this guy. And I was like, man, I was like, oh, eventually it's gonna be a situation like on the news. I just know I'm gonna get into a fight with a dude because he looked at me in a sexualizing way, and it's gonna be a thing. They're gonna be like, "Oh, she's crazy" or something. Like, it's gonna be my Britney Spears moment.
Right.
Like, or people she shaved her head, like she beat the shit out of this guy because he's looked at her in an over sexualizing way.
But
do you know punch a motherfucker.
That just made me think of something. Did you know that, like, statistic wise, women do kill their husbands more than men kill their wives?
I thought you were gonna say that women sexualize men more than women. I was like, probably.
No. I'm saying women
kill. So women are very aggressive.
No. There is a buildup of shit that happens.
Yeah.
There's a buildup of shit that happens, and there comes a time where, whether you're being gaslit or just whatever it is, you just had enough, you had too much to drink, whatever it is, and he says one thing wrong. Mm-hmm. Maybe you talk to a girlfriend, it's like, "Girl, you don't need that shit." Then she goes back, she's like, "You're right, I don't." Boom, whatever. It's like there's like something that happens, and there's that thing, like when somebody's like, you're mad at somebody and you have that look on your face and you're like whatever. And that's like that place right before you turn. If you look at the mug shots of those women, dead eyes. They are gone. They have like gone away already. They're like, I don't care. I'm done. We don't want any women to get to that place.
That's so funny.
Do you know what I mean? Like that is what happens. And I'm saying they could get out of that relationship, but they didn't because whatever they were dealing with, it wasn't right, or they felt bad, or maybe they were told they were crazy. Like I was looking at this and I felt so, look, at the end of the day, if you stay in an abusive relationship or a toxic relationship, you know, you do it and you do that, it's on you. It just is. It's a trigger, you know, you were pushed to a place, but it doesn't make it okay. But I do know that most of the people, like Florida, you know, Florida is a big place for that kind of stuff to happen.
Of women killing their husbands?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about
all the dudes in the back are just like, oh.
Think about the mentality. Think about the mentality with that though, right? Like God. There is that mentality where it's like, you know, you have that chauvinistic cook me turkey pot pie bitch kind of thing. And it's like, this is what you're doing. The lady's miserable and he's cheating and it's like a whole thing. And I don't know. There's like,
so now we know if one of Krista's men go missing. We know.
Look,
what
all I hope.
To them.
Well, that's right. And I just hope that if he does,
she's even denied. She's like, you're 100% right.
And I just
killed that motherfucker.
That's right. And I just hope that if he does, I hope that he's calling me crazy so I can plead insanity when they find his body. I'm like, that's right, Your Honor. I'm crazy. Just ask his friends. They all know. That's right.
I don't think I would kill a dude. No. I'd rather keep them alive and torture them because I'm a sick fuck. Yeah. I'll be like, oh. I would like want to, make them
accidents happen
forever.
Though. Accidents happen. Accidents just happen. What, that mysterious boating accident I'm planning? I shouldn't do that. No.
Speaking of killing, should we get into this red flag game?
Yeah. Okay.
So we have this red flag game. It's by Skybound, and what we do is we're going to decide if we want to date this guy, right?
Okay.
So we're going to pick 3 good things about this dude. They're called white flags, and then we're going to pick 1 red flag. And I'm going to be like, do you want to date this guy? Okay. So I'm going to do you first.
Okay.
So this is, you're going to decide if you want to date this dude. Okay. So this is the good thing about him. He touches you in all the right places and never needs correction.
That's a good thing, right?
I mean, I hope so for you. I like it when he touches all the wrong places.
Yeah, I haven't had that one before, but go ahead. I mean, it's like, is that a unicorn?
It sounds like a cry for help.
It is. Help me.
One thing. Okay. Second thing, is the person you secretly always wanted to have sex with. So you're good in the sex department. This guy's the best sex of your life.
Wow.
All right.
Come on over.
Knows exactly how to get you in the mood. This guy just wants to fuck you.
You know what? Yeah. What is he doing for you?
Okay, this is the red flag. Constantly plotting to kill you.
That's probably a big red flag. I might paint it white. I might try to paint it white.
You might try to forgive him. Like, he's just really stressed and, he's just trying to change.
I'm like, no, he's okay.
I have been kind of needy recently. I could understand how he wants to kill me.
I mean, it's like, I'm going to kill you. It's not like I'm going to kill you, you know?
It says he's always plotting. It doesn't mean he's succeeding.
Right.
That could be kind of cute.
It's
baby,
cute.
trying again. The knife was dull this time. You forgot to sharpen the knife.
No, he's saying he just wants to kill me. He's like, I'm gonna kill her, like in bed. I'm gonna kill, I'm gonna kill her, Nope, that's not what he's doing either. These are the excuses we make.
You're like, it's just a sex thing. No,
it's all
Krista,
about sex.
He's literally trying to murder you.
I don't want to date him.
You don't?
No.
I think I'd fuck this dude. I would date this guy. I think he's kind of cute.
Even if he was constantly plotting to kill you?
I think it's kind of funny. But he's like not succeeding. Yo, that's so funny to me. Oh my God, I think I'm the devil. Okay.
That's okay. All right, I'm going to do you. Are you ready? Has 3 pet dragons. We already like him.
Fuck yes. Daenerys. I would fuck.
My God. This is my dream guy. Can train you in the ways of the Jedi. Okay, let's see.
Who picked these flags, bro?
Come on. Drives a time traveling DeLorean. I mean, this is fucking God.
I'm gonna get the red flag because I think you need this guy. This guy seems like
I really want him.
Okay, let's see how down you are with it. He shits while he comes.
If it's a medical problem, I'm not going to shame him for it. I'm in. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a Cleveland steamer?
No. What's a Cleveland
It's
steamer?
when somebody takes a huge shit on your chest.
Have you done
as
that?
They come. No,
Are you sure?
but I would.
Are you sure you haven't done this?
I'm positive.
Cleveland steamer?
A Cleveland steamer.
How do you know about that?
Because I looked up weird sex moves.
Was it part of the
there's a
Easter brunch with the
Spider-Man thing?
kids?
Yeah, I taught my son all of
It was
these.
like on the pamphlet.
Well, he didn't have a father growing up, so I just went down. I was like, this is a Cleveland steamer. This is a, no.
Of course it's Cleveland. That sounds like a place where it would come from, Cleveland steamer.
Why is it Cleveland? I don't know.
I don't know. But it's like where they take giant dumps.
And then there's like the Houdini.
All the Cleveland people
Do you know what the Houdini
unsubscribe
is?
to the podcast. No.
You don't know. I had to teach my son this too. No, I'm kidding. I didn't.
Houdini.
A Houdini is when
It's like every time
A guy's-
when I date a guy. I'm just kidding.
well, it's kind of it's when a guy's fucking you from behind and it's really great. Then his best friend comes in, takes his place, starts fucking you, and then he knocks on the window and waves to you while the other guy's fucking you.
Who invents this?
Chauvinistic pigs. No, there's all of these terrible things. It's like this whole list. I was looking at them.
No, but who's doing this and then naming them? That's what's sad, bro. I don't even.
Literally people in their basement jerking off to stuff that whatever it is, and they're just like whatever.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Krista Allen XO on Instagram and Twitter. I have a Facebook page, but I only use my personal page.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a fan page that I just turned over. I'm doing a charity at the dojo at Sycamore Tavern once a month. First show is on May 22nd. And it's a charity show, and each show is going to be different. So the first one is Humane Society. The proceeds go to that. We also have a separate link where people that can't come to the show can just donate to the show. They have a really cool lineup. I would love you to do the show.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, and then the next one. So each month is a different charity. So we'll do like mental health. We'll do Special Olympics. We'll do we have a bunch of different ones that we want to do, and then we're bringing it in, and then all of that stuff goes to that charity.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah,
I love it.
Because don't you hate when like people like just take money at the door? They're like, "Thank you for coming."
I mean, I like money, but
I do too. But
I know the animals need it too because they're abused animals just like us.
Well, we all need it. Like everybody needs it, but
Get
why
those-
not use comedy?
Save those childhood trauma puppies. Just need to help them out.
All of them.
Yeah. Krista Allen, it was so much fun having you on. Thank
was
you.
fun being
We'll have you
here.
back soon.
That'd be really fun.
Guys, this was the podcast. This was the episode. We're releasing now every Friday. Me and the team here doing big things, more than, and then me just retweeting it. But, it's all good. You can follow me on Instagram at Vanessa P. Johnston. I'm your host, Vanessa Johnston. Thank you guys. Meow, meow.
Meow meow.